What up, what up, what up? Welcome, welcome, welcome to another episode of Sneaks Rhymes in Life. I am your host, Lionel McDonald. So this one's for Detroit. So recent news in the month of February, we honor his birthday, which was earlier this month, February 7th. James DeWitt Yancey was born, and that is who we call JD, otherwise known as J Dilla. J Dilla is most recently now had a street name named after him in the city of Detroit. February 7th is also now officially in Detroit, J Dilla Day. So we're going to quickly talk about the impact of J Dilla and who he was. So J Dilla was born February 7th, 1974. And again, I resonate because J Dilla is from Detroit. He did pass away also in the month of February, so February 10th, 2006. Passed away way too soon, complications with TPT or TTP and lupus was most notably but he was known as one of the most influential and impactful producers. When you run your top 5 or at least your top 10 producers, JD is probably there. One of the most creative minds that we have. I think maybe he's not in my top 10 because our top 5 because I'm more of a boom bap New York fan of sound and producers. RZA, Havoc, definitely Pete Rock, and obviously DJ Premier would be my number 1. Dr. Dre is probably in the conversation, and then I would say Ninth Wonder and J Dilla are also part of that conversation to take the 5th spot. But we got to give him his love. The way he programmed drums, this loose but incredibly effective creativity and pulling sounds together. Like, he had just an incredible ear for music. So he grew up in Detroit, after transferring from Davis Aerospace Technical High School. Him and his classmates, known as T3 and Bad 10, they kind of collaborated and met through rap battles. They created a group called Slum Village. They used beat breaking, they used simple tape decks, but really mastered a craft of creating some incredible sounds throughout the course of his life. And that was really kind of got Slum Village off the ground and made a name for themselves in the Detroit area when it came to music. In 95, after in 94, he met Q-Tip at Lollapalooza. He started to really work with some other producers, including Q-Tip, and found a way to start to get Slum Village together. Obviously, he signed their first record deal in the mid-90s, put out Fantastic Voyage Volume 1. It quickly became popular amongst fans, but then the fandom spread. Throughout North America and even into Canada. But there was some feelings, like obviously by JD, that there was comparisons that they sounded like a Tribe Called Quest, and he really tried to separate himself differently than other people. But as their fandom built, he started to work with other people because people had loved the sound. So Busta Rhymes, Pharcyde, De La Soul, Janet Jackson, even Q-Tip's solo project, there's elements that JD had a part of it and was part of it. Even Tony, Raphael Sadiq was a huge fan of JD, and worked with some of these albums. Like Pharcyde, their second album, I think the track even dropped, was the one that was done by JD. They ultimately did in 2000 Fantastic Voyage 2, and then started to work with The Roots amongst other people. Kweli, Erykah Badu, all people that were fans of JD, and then he met Common. And the breakthrough album that Common had in his career beyond Resurrection, Water Like Chocolate, he definitely had a tremendous impact on Common's career as an artist, but the sound and how Common rhymed over those beats were second to none. He then worked with a group in that area, Frank and Dank, 48 Hours there was their first project in 2002. And then he worked with Belial, amongst other people, Kanye West, Madlib, Pete Rock, all huge fans of this producer, and he is right national. And I didn't, top five or whatever. Madlib is also there because he's done some incredible stuff. Freddie Gibbs, obviously stuff with MF Doom. So we just have these amazing producers doing incredible things. Yancey recorded what's called Rough Draft, a release exclusively on vinyl on his German label called Groove Attack in 2003. And again, it was a change in direction. It was more of an instrumental album after the fact. But what started to change things in the last few years is really the health condition of J Dilla. The medication and his illness caused a dramatic weight loss starting in 2003. Slower output of being able to create music in 2004 and 2005. There was serious concerns. Even there was a time he got hospitalized when he was on tour in Europe. And even in Europe, he performed in a wheelchair, but he wanted to keep his sound and his music. Wanted to keep it going, but he died 3 days after his 32nd birthday, and that's what kind of really hurts to see that we never got his full potential. Like, there was lots of things that came out after. There was a reissue of Rough Draft as a double LP. There was The Shining, which is about 75% complete when J Dilla died. Some people had to help finish it, including Kareem Riggins. That ultimately came in 2006. The Sniper Light consisted of Yancey, MF Doom, and Ghostface. Jay from Love Japan, released in 2005, or announced in 2005, but really didn't come together until after he had passed. Champion Sound was another one. Yancey Boys, Jay Stay Paid. So there were so many things he had cooking. The Diary was another one. They didn't come out until 2014. And we even had people pull together Welcome to Detroit. I love that project, released in 2021. It is absolutely fire. And we got the Detroit MCs got on this, from Black Milk to many others from that area. So the legacy that he has had is immense. The influence in terms of sampling, in terms of creating music with soul, is really almost second to none. We talk about the best producers, all reference JD as making an impact on them and how they created sound, but also having them look and trying to raise the bar higher than it was. Special dedication even happened on the Block Party documentary that was done by Dave Chappelle. And that was amazing because we had Kanye, which is another great producer, The Roots, the return of the Fugees, Erykah Badu. We got Black Star back together for that one. There's a special tribute within that was created. We also got in 2010, we got J-Lib, which is Madlib and J Dilla together. So there was a lot of things that happened. There's some controversies in terms of, people bootlegging things. There was some unofficial mixtapes that were out there that really, rubbed the family the wrong way, in terms of even Busta Rhymes had the diligence to take issues with this. But I think long and short, the impact of JD is truly special. Again, he now has his own street. Essentially, it's J Dilla month in the month of February, and then there is now, day of his birthday is officially J Dilla Day, in the city of Detroit. There's a book. There's obviously, you can look into his discography, studio albums. Donuts is an all-time classic that was released right around when he passed away. And then there's extended plays of Volume 1, Volume 2, Rough Draft, J Delicious, the Delicious Vinyl albums, or Delicious Vinyl Years. So there's so much material. If you've never heard of J Dilla, if you've never gone down the path of listening to him, I'm wearing a J Dilla t-shirt because I have so much respect and so much admiration for him as a musician. But take some time, take in some Dilla. This is February, but Dilla can live 365 days through your sound system, your car, your MP3 player, your phone, your headphones, however you want to consume music. You're just playing it on vinyl. You're still playing it on tapes or CDs. Show some love to Jay Dilla because he is one of the all-time greats. Much love to JD. This is Sneaks Rhymes in Life. We out.